Hey guys, it's M4J here and welcome back to our Football Manager 2018 career as Stevenage. We are on the cusp of starting the new season. I believe the squad is in a good enough condition. I haven't been keeping too close an eye on it, if I'm perfectly honest. We've got loads of players in on trial. We got more players coming in on trial. A lot of them are just literally coming in, staying for a week and then leaving. Very few of them are actually good enough to make the grade. If I show you what the squad is going to look like, this is probably going to be the team we pick for our first game of the season anyway, so it's worth looking at here. So in goal, it looks like we're going to have Joe Fryer, Ronnie Henry at right back, Josh Da Silva, who I signed on loan from Arsenal, at left back, Luke Wilkinson and Jack King making up the rest of the defence. Luke McCormick, who's just signed on loan from Chelsea, he was actually our director of football signing. He will start as a holding midfielder. Beautyman and Conlon making up the rest of the midfield. And then Samuel on the right, Giorgio on the left, and another signing, Nketiah? I've no idea if that's the correct pronunciation or not. Nketiah, I think, is what I'm probably going to be calling him until someone tells me I'm wrong. But yeah, he starts up front. He's also on loan from Arsenal. Anyone who's watched Arsenal's Europa League campaign this season, you will know who this guy is. He scored twice for them in a game. One of the group matches. I can't remember who it was against now. I think it might have been Red Star Belgrade. I'm not 100% sure. And then on the bench we got Yves Makalambe, who signed from Wickham. He's our backup goalie. He's got pretty decent stats, I suppose. Fraser Franks, Dale Gorman, Dan Newton, Luke Wade-Slater, James Ferry and Jamie Gray. Because I'm obsessive and compulsive, I am going to move these guys around so that they are in a better order. There we go. So that does mean that players like Van Kooten, Wilmot, Martin's missing out. I'm a bit surprised about that one, actually. I quite fancy having Martin on the bench. I'm going to put him on the bench instead of Wade-Slater, I think. And then maybe start Martin, because he's our set-piece man after all, so it makes sense to have him available. Toner misses out. We got Tafari Moore on loan from Arsenal as well. Young fullback, can play both left and right sided, so that's good. Ivan Wasi. Ivan Wasi. He's a good player. He's a very good player. I know him from my Hatfield career. I should say he's not in the Hatfield career that I live streamed and made videos of. I did a second Hatfield career in my own time as a way of relaxing and unwinding, and he became instrumental in that because he was pretty much the same positions as he plays now. You can see he can play all across the back and across the midfield. I also had him trained as wing backs, so essentially I could play him all the way along here and all the way along here too, which is a big thing to have a player with that amount of versatility. Jonathan Smith, I don't think he'll be staying around for long, to be honest. He's not got the best stats, which is a bit of a surprise considering where he came from. McKee and Turger also miss out. Whelpdale, Pet. Again, Pet missing out. I'm a little bit unsure of. I think I'm going to put Pet on the bench instead of Ferry. That'll do better. Parfit Williams is a new signing. He was also brought in by the director of football. He's got pretty decent stats, so I'm quite happy with that. Kennedy is still out injured, as is Godden. And then we got Wootton and Liebird making up the rest. Now, in terms of actual monetary signings, Makalambe cost us 16,000. I did have a sneaky bid on Shola Amiobi, which was accepted, but we couldn't agree terms, which is a little bit annoying, because I wouldn't have minded having him on board. I'm going to lower the scouting thing here, because there's loads of players here that we could bring in if we so chose to. I'm looking for, Kellen Gordon. I'm trying not to find players who are loan, because we've got too many loan players now. I'm looking to bring in some permanent players. It doesn't look like there's many. I don't think Maniakiyoto is going to be a good signing for us at this level. I will, of course, look to bring him into my Hatfield team, but yeah, it's a bit tricky. Tyler Reed, I recognise that name. Why do I recognise that name? Don't actually know. Right, so we've got Newport County in the league. as our next match. That's the reason why I've decided to bring the video back here. Checker trade trophy selection criteria, don't need to worry about that. Cole de Silva from Chelsea. Our director of football wants to bring him in. In terms of the staff signings, I think we pretty much brought in everyone that we wanted. So Steve Britt joined us as a coach. Anthony joined us as a head physio. See, he's got a good rating. Radcliffe joined us as a normal physio. Smith as head of sports science. I think we have him anywhere? I can't actually remember. Anthony Honor has joined us as a default sports scientist. We brought in Brisley as the chief data analyst. We brought in the 2 scouts. Even though Philpott was offered jobs elsewhere, he chose us, which is quite flattering. In terms of the youth team, I suppose we've got some good coaches here. I might look at replacing them. And we've got a sports scientist, and we've got a data analyst. Our own data analyst, Brisley, good stats. I did contemplate replacing Rhoda, and then I looked at his stats and thought, actually, I don't really think we could do much better than that with what we've got. Maybe I could have promoted him to director of football and brought in another assistant manager, but even then, I don't think we'd have gained an advantage from it. Okay, Makalambe's out injured now. That's fantastic news. That's exactly what I wanted to see. All the all the trials will be expiring soon, which is fine. It means we can go into the season with a clean squad ready to go. Hopefully. Here's some more scouting going on. I changed this to once a week. We'd get updates so that we actually have more than one player per update. These are all players that I'd quite like to continue scouting. There's actually quite a few ex-Stevenage players I saw in there. Andy Bond was one of them. Jimmy Smith was another. Danny Bullman, did his name come up there as well? I had Mark Hughes from Accrington recommended to me earlier. Now there's one thing I wanted to ask actually, although I'm not sure if asking it now is such a good idea, because by the time it's answered I would probably have found out the answer anyway. Let me just change that quickly. Scouting range, yeah, I'm fine with that. And availability now would be nice. There's an option when you scout players. There is an option here to get an analyst report. Now, where do they go? Those analyst reports. Does it come under team report? I don't think it does. So if I go staff and have a look at our data analyst, I can't see where he would have reports for us to read. So I'm not sure if that's a bit like the sports science thing last year, where they sort of brought it in but hadn't fully implemented it. So actually I'm asking them to do something that I will never see the result of. If that is the case, then that's a little annoying, but I suppose it means next year it would work. You can see here, there's nothing that actually shows up the reports. If I go scouting, there's players, there's scouted players, there's recent players. Scouting Center doesn't have them. The assignments has assignments and players, which is a big list. There's the short list, and then there's the knowledge. Now the knowledge is just, you know, what we've got available here. If I go assignments, these are our scouting assignments. Oh, hang on, here we go. Reports 0. But he is there. He's looking at 10 players. Oh no, that's his stats. That's his stats. Okay. So he's not got anything. He's analysing next opponent. Maybe I need another data analyst. Although that is just our data analyst. Where's our head data analyst? But yeah, I mean, we got some scout reports that we could look at. There's all these guys. These were the guys who played in the trial match, I believe. I think they're all free agents. We'll bring him in on trial. This guy is now with a club. He's with Boro Wood. So I'm not going to... Actually, that's one player I wanted to look at. There's a couple of players I wanted to look at, because I believe... I'm a fan of #United, and I believe they're in the game. But again, I couldn't really find where. So I did a search for Spencer Owen. They didn't come up with anything, so I thought, oh, maybe he goes under Spencer FC. Nothing. The only Spencer I found that might be him is Spencer Brown, who's a right back and a free agent. That's the only one that really could have been. He's currently being scouted, so we could end up signing this guy because he has actually got quite good stats. And I notice he can also play across the back. I think that's it. Right, if I go Boro and Wood, this guy, Dave Stevens, it's one of my claims to fame, I suppose. I didn't go to school with this guy. My brother went to school with him, but I played football against him a couple of times. So I do not claim at all to be a better footballer than he is, but it's kind of weird to know. Like, I saw him in school every day walking down the corridors, and now he's in, not just, well, he used to be in FIFA as well. I remember a friend of mine scoring a free kick against me using him. That was quite a surreal experience as well. Anyway, so we've got some stuff here. I'm not going to change any of this because I'm quite happy with how we are set up anyway. That still doesn't look much like me. I might see if I can change that. I think someone said you can change it once the game starts, which I'll be more than happy with doing if I just update the picture. Because at the time, I sort of, on a whim, I took a picture on my phone and tried to use that, and yeah, it didn't really come out that well. So fingers crossed, we can change that. Right, so yes, we're playing Newport County in this episode. We're 12 minutes in already. I should probably get to the actual match. We got some key players out injured, unfortunately, which is a bit of a pain in the backside. I'll handle the briefing, I think, for this. Yeah, I'll handle the briefing. So I want to talk to the team. Formation is going to be this one. 4-1-2-3. Very little reaction. Okay. The mentality. Do you know what? I think I might go with an attacking mentality. Yep, I like that. Good. So the Friars debut. Little reaction. Okay. What have we got over here? Pass into space. Opposition. Add scenario. That's something I should do. So if we're losing, let's say if we're winning by 3 goals at any time, we'll go with a contain, a highly structured setup. We'll move into the other tactic, and we will drop deeper. We will also stick to positions. Stay on feet because we don't want any suspensions or anything stupid. And play safer. Okay. If we are losing by 2 or more goals at any time, we'll go into overload with a very fluid shape, and we will go route 1. Okay. Big changes to squad, and then we're going to hand over to the assistant and end the meeting. Okay, I think I got my point across there. I don't want to go around the entire squad and say it's this person's debut, it's this person's debut, it's this person's debut, because I think that's a bit counterproductive. So Fryer's debut in goal, that's a big one, because the goalkeeper tends to lead from the back anyway, so it's good to have that one sort of under the well, not under the radar, on the radar, I suppose is the right term. Right, Ronnie Henry gets a contract clause extension. if he plays in 25 games. Wade Slater has it for 15 games. I did trigger some extensions on some other people's contracts. So Godden has got an extra year now. King's got an extra year. Giorgio, I think it was, has got an extra year. So's Beautyman, even though when I'm recording this episode, Beautyman's just been sold to Sutton. So it didn't quite work out for him in real life. But it could work out for him in the game. So that's worth watching. Now, I'm going to give Quito the spot on the bench. I think I mentioned him. He's signed on loan from Arsenal as well. The rest of the team, they're all in good condition apart from Henry, but he's 33, I think, at this point. Yeah, he's just turned 34 in the real world. So happy birthday, Skipper. But age is not really on his side at the moment. I mean, it's not necessarily reflected in the game. That's one of the reasons why I signed Wassy, because he can play right back as well as left back. Apart from that, I think I'm happy with the team. These guys here, their pre-season has pretty much just started because their condition is so low. Whereas these guys are pretty much ready to go. Apart from Giorgio, who's not in the best form, so we might have to sub him off a little bit. But it's his debut anyway, so I don't expect him to stay out for too long. I think I'm happy with this lineup. Do have to give a squad number to a player. McCormick needs a squad number. I'm going to give him number 36 because he is a lone player after all. And we're going to get into the game. Now, one of the things I'm not too pleased with the match engine, I like this stuff. This all looks cool. You can hear the fans in the background there. I like that it's got these showing that they're making their debut. In fact, Conlon, King and Wilkinson are the only, and Henry, are the only players not making a debut in this match. For them, their striker is Cole, Geraldo Martin, Dolan, White. So they got a few debutants themselves. Right, dressing room. Don't need to worry about any of this stuff. Kickoff. Now, the thing I don't like about the match engine, let me get rid of that, is there's no radar that I can see. Right, there's nothing on here that's a radar. So I've got focus of attack as kind of an alternative. These boxes need to be made a lot smaller. That's annoying. Right, hang on, pause that. These boxes need to be made a lot smaller. Right, even though I need just big enough to give me the information I need. There we go. In fact, do I want goals as well? I kind of do. Although I don't really, because it comes up on the match overview. So that's fine. This I can then make a little bit bigger to match. And then over here, does this go smaller? It doesn't. So I mean I can make this one bigger. So it's a little obtrusive, all of this stuff. It's not ideal. I would prefer to have this stuff hidden away. It can't be helped, I suppose. Team shape, this is all good. Right, okay, let's just play. Right, Beautyman on the ball. Plays it back to McCormick. You can see they're kind of moving it around the way I like them to. Into Samuel and Nicotia over the bar. I imagine he's going to be a bit hot-headed given it's his debut, and he's also, I think he's 18 at this point of the game, so quite young, quite eager to impress. That's fine. I've got nothing against that. To be honest, I mean, in real life, Steamage were on a bit of a slump. They've turned it around a little bit at the moment, but we played Crawley away quite recently, and we lost 1-0, and at one point, the manager, Saul, took off one of our experienced players, I can't remember who it was now, and put on an 18-year-old striker. And it's something that he said in a... Let's go, Alex Samuel. Good assist by Giorgio as well, actually. But yeah, it was something that Saul said in an interview of he likes putting young players out in situations like that when we're chasing the game, because they don't play with the fear like the senior players do. So they're happier to sort of pick the ball up and run at defenders and shoot from distance and things like that. The kind of stuff that could get you a goal if you have a bit of luck, but a senior player isn't as willing to try because they're more afraid of getting it wrong. I think's the fair way of saying it. The main thing is, it kind of shows there actually, Giorgio and Samuel combining well to score the goal. The main thing is getting back into the game. So, you know, if the manager thinks that that player is the best person to get them back into the match, then I'm not going to argue with that, because I'm always going to go in with the assumption that as much as I know football, the manager is always going to know more than me. And that's why they're in the dugout and I'm in the stands. Right, this game is actually going pretty fast. I think I've got it on... Yeah, I've got it on extended. Just doesn't seem to be much happening at the moment. Right, we're coming up with... Well, half an hour's come and gone. Coming up to 35 minutes soon. Couple of fouls. Oh, Nketiah's injured. Brilliant. Alright. In that case, I'm probably going to put Newton on. Bit more experience. For those of you who don't know who Danny Newton is, he was the... Assuming I've got this right, he was the first Football League graduate of Jamie Vardy's V9 Academy. If you've watched the show, The Next Jamie Vardy, you will see Danny Newton. He's the first player that they signed as well, which is quite a big deal. He's had a really good start to the season for us as well. He's scored 12 league goals now, I believe. 11 or 12 league goals, which is a fantastic return. There's been matches where he single-handedly has turned the tide in our favour again. He's played really, really well. So I can see big things coming from him. I hope we can hold on to him. He's a bit like Matt Godden at the moment, where first season's going so well, there's already talk of him moving away. So I'm hoping... I mean, I hope we keep both of them, because Godden's got 12 or 13 goals himself. So they've got a really good partnership up front. It'd be nice if we can keep hold of both of them. Same in the game as well. It'd be nice if we can keep hold of both of them. That was Giorgio with a header there. The Lamex looks a little different on this game. I know they can't go around and model every single stadium how it should be, but I know for a fact that the Lamex doesn't have any posts in the stands, like here. It's all cantilever roof. And over here as well, actually. Oh, Akinfenwa's just scored for Wickham. That's nice. Well, it looks like we're going to go in half-time at 1-0. I would have liked to have seen more action. I'm not going to complain too much, considering we are winning, but yeah, I would have liked to have seen a little bit more going on. But there you go, 1-0. Playing well. Good to see Samuel get a debut goal. Rode has gone and done his talking, so we'll start the second half. We actually get to see some on-pitch action as well, which is quite nice. If we're still not getting more highlights on extended, I might switch it to comprehensive. Let's see when it puts us back in the game now. I am keeping a very close eye on the player ratings here as well. Beautyman's not doing too well. Neither is Henry. They're both on 6.4s, although Beautyman has just gone up to a 6.5. Martin as well is struggling a little bit, perhaps. Beautyman shot. Ooh. That can't have been far wide. That must have been pretty close. Right, how do I make subs in here again? Yeah, make substitution. So I want to bring on De Silva. No, not De Silva. I want to bring on Franks for Henry. And I want to bring on Gorman for Beautyman. We'll try those. And I'm going to switch this to comprehensive. Oh, that was a goal. That was Beautyman, wasn't it? Of course it was, because I've just subbed him off. He's literally going to run around celebrating and then run straight off the pitch. Oh, he did a forward roll as well. That was nice. Well, Harry, you should have done that in the first half. Perhaps you'd still be on the pitch right now. Newton with the header down. Good assist from Newton. Good ball in from Martin as well, it should be said. No. I like that they give you that option now. You can actually change your mind on subs. If if you bring on an attacker to try and get back into the game and then you score, it does say to you, do you still want to make this sub? I like that it does that. To be honest, I don't think either of the subs. Maybe I'll still bring off Henry. Yeah, his stamina's going down as well, actually. I'll bring Franks on for Henry. But that means I might be able to bring on Tom Pett in a little bit for Giorgio. I mean, Giorgio's played well, 6.8. Joint second highest. The only player ahead of him is Conlon, who's done well actually, 6.9. No 7s. Oh, 7.4. Beautyman's got a 7.4. Even Samuel. Oh, Samuel's on 7.6. I can't read, as it turns out. I cannot read. I don't like numbers in lists for some reason. I always struggle to see them all. I'm not wearing my glasses as well, which doesn't help. Alright, Giorgio swings it in over Newton. Fell short of Samuel. McCormick's done well in that holding role as well. That's a penalty. Yeah. Who got brought down? Giorgio. Now, who did I put on penalties again? I had a whole long list of players on penalties. I think Beautyman was on that list, and it looks like it might be him getting the ball. Him or Samuel, I think it is. I think that's Samuel. Looks blonde. Here's Samuel for his second goal of the game. Straight down the middle. Sends the keeper the wrong way somehow. I don't know if you can do that by going down the middle, but there you go. 3-0. Now, in the real fixture, Stevenage were 3-1 up, and it ended 3-all. I believe it was 1-0 to Stevenage as well, and then it was 1-all, and then we went 3-1 up, and then it went 3-all. And they scored in like the 92nd minute or something to equalise. It was a bad game in terms of we threw it away. It was a very good game in terms of entertainment. 6 goals is good. We actually scored, I think it was 9 goals in our first 3 or 4 home games, which was very impressive. And then it went a little bit south. But it's come back. That's the main thing. We've actually scored, I think it's 14 goals in our last 3 games at home, which is an incredibly good record. We beat Swindon 5-2 in the FA Cup. We then beat Chesterfield 5-1 in the league. We beat Cheltenham at the weekend, although by the time this goes out it won't be the weekend, but we beat them 4-1. So we're not keeping clean sheets, but we're scoring loads of goals. Fryer did well to keep that out. Giorgio here on the counter maybe. Just got away from him, I think. How's he doing stamina-wise? In fact, Conlon's looking more tired. I might bring Conlon off and put Gorman on. It's amazing how a game can change. I was talking about bringing Beautyman off because he was playing badly. He's now on a 7.8. Samuel's on an 8.8. Samuel's playing a blinder. He's not got that many goals in him in real life at the moment. He's had a couple of chances. I think he scored against Chesterfield in the 5-1. He's done well though. I've been quite impressed by him in recent games. He just needs to add the goal scoring to him. But he's being played out on... He's a striker technically, being played out on the right hand side. So I can see why goal scoring isn't exactly his priority right now. He's done well to set them up still. So it's the little things that I look out for. Like my brother, for example, he judges a striker on how many goals they score, which I suppose is the thing you should look out for most. But not every striker is a goal scorer. Emil Heskey is a really good example of that. Him being in the team allowed Michael Owen to score the number of goals he did. Alright, Martin with the ball in, headed out by Tozer. And that's the end of that move. I'm going to make the third sub. We got less than 20 minutes to go, so it should work out. Gorman on, Conlon off. We'll see how that goes. I'm actually quite surprised. We did okay in pre-season. You might have seen at the start of the episode, we lost the last 2 games against Peterborough and Gillingham. They're both League One teams, so that could be why we ended up losing it. I'm not too upset if we lose to a League One team in a pre-season friendly, because it's not really a realistic representation of how you'll do against them if you come up against them in, say, like a league match, because there's no guarantee that both teams will be playing their strongest lineups. There's also the fact that it is pre-season, so everyone's rusty and shaking off the rust, and the fact that it's a friendly, so players aren't necessarily fully committed in pre-season friendly. Right, clean sheet is the priority now, I'd say. We are actually winning. That's something worth noting. I don't think it's that I wanted. I think it's this. No, not this. Tactics. That's what I want. And then tactics. So we are still playing in this setup, even though we are winning by 3+ goals. So we should have switched. Should have switched to the other system. And we haven't. That's interesting. It's very interesting. Maybe... Is that on here? Opposition instructions, shout tactics. Oh. Try that again. Praise. I have no idea if that works. Adjust instructions, should I do that? No. I'm still getting used to this. I have played a couple of matches in the Hemel Hempstead career, but I wasn't really looking at all the new features. Good save, Fryer. So I still don't 100% know what all of these do. Oh, that's the shape. That's fine. That's the mentality. So I assume that's the... Yeah, and that's that one. Okay. I get it now. It's all good. As I said, clean sheet is the priority now. We got 9 minutes to go, plus injury time. Let's get that clean sheet sorted. Maybe even snatch a 4th goal. That'd be a nice bonus. Well, it's not looking too likely. I think at this point the players are starting to not switch off, but shut down a little bit. Just see the game out. That's fine. That's kind of why I set that tactic up anyway. Well, that being said, Giorgio debut goal maybe? Oh yeah. Was he onside? I think he was. Yeah. Well, there you go. Andreas Giorgio. Sorry, Andronicus Giorgio. I don't know where I got Andreas from. Andronicus Giorgio. Good play between the 3 attacking players there as well. Great ball through from Newton. Keeper should have saved that, but Giorgio won't care. I don't particularly care either. 4-0. Perfect. So we should switch system. Although it still doesn't look like that's happened. So I don't know whether I was meant to have confirmed that or not before the match kicked off. I've absolutely no idea. They've got an injury. He's doing some weird convulsing things on the floor. Someone go prod him with a cattle prod, make sure he's alright. That ball's over the bar. Getting very close now. Just over a minute to go. Good performance. I'm really happy with this. 4-0 on the opening game. I genuinely thought we would struggle. Maybe a 1-0 win or a 2-1 win. The fact that we've won so convincingly. It is, with the greatest of respect, it is against Newport County, and they are a team that tend to stick around the bottom of the table. So maybe the real test is the next match, which I think is Colchester away, if I recall. Providing this is the realistic fixtures, of course. It might just have been a coincidence that we got Newport at home. Right, got just over a minute to see out of injury time now. Fryer bombs it forward. No one was there. I don't really know what he was doing. Maybe he was just trying to get it away from his box. But he is giving it away, which is not the smartest thing to do. Come on, boys, win it back. That's it. Well played. Oh, no, not good touch from Martin. Although we're passing it around the defence. Maybe getting a little bit cocky. Yeah, you go, see, complacency. Given away by Gorman. Franks probably could have let that one go. Same with King there, he probably could have let that one go. Come on, boys, clean sheet. Good tackle, Gorman. Up to Giorgio. Again, an interesting attempted pass. Perhaps Newton is not as active as he should be in those scenarios. He's got an opportunity here, and he's absolutely messed that up. He did score in this game, actually. He scored the 3rd in the fixture in real life. It took a bit of a deflection. Quite fortunate to go in, but that was his first goal, scored in his debut. Bit like Samuel, 2 goals on his debut, 1 goal for Giorgio and 1 for Beautyman. So all the debutants scored. which is good. I like that. Rhoda said, I'm very pleased with your performance. Keep it going, keep it going, lads. Game's over. Go home. Not keep it going. That puts us second behind Coventry on alphabetical order, I imagine. Very, very good performance. Very good performance. Right, Nicotia, he's out for up to 3 weeks with concussion. Ah, he got a head injury. That's a shame. Samuel, really good in that. Really good in that game. Man of the match, 9.3 rating, scored twice. Was involved in Giorgio's goal as well. Good performance from him. Right, that is the end of this episode. Next up, we have a cup game. First round of the Carabao Cup against Brentford at home. I don't remember that match being there. I think it was after the Colchester game we played in the Carabao. I can't even remember if it was against Brentford. I don't think it was. I do know we lost it. We lost in the first game, which wasn't brilliant, but there you go. So we will be back for that one. I'm going to carry on looking at some trials. Will Hayhurst is a good example of that. Young player, Preston. I think he came from, yeah, Preston. Spent some time at Notts County and then they released him. So he might be worth bringing in. We'll have a good close look at him. Gogic is what? Gogic. He's goalkeeper. I don't think we need any more goalkeepers. But it's always, I'm willing to bring players in on trial. But yeah, 3 days time, we got the Brentford game. So until then, guys, thanks very much for watching. Don't forget to leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and of course, if you're enjoying the series, drop some comments down below with ideas for future episodes. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, be sure to hit the subscribe button. If you have already subscribed to the channel, thank you guys for your continued support. And until next time, I will see you soon.